Yes, people, we're back again. Welcome back to the channel. It's myself, it's Lee Judges, and it's, of course, Adrian, and we're all smiling. We're all happy. We've had a fantastic day in the sunshine. We've been watching the game. We've been talking all things Arsenal Spurs, the North London derby. Oh, it's now over, and it is a wonderful, wonderful result as far as Arsenal are concerned. Myself and Lee haven't long been back. We've got back home now. We can relax, we can enjoy, and it's match of the day to sit and relax tonight. And I always love watching match of the day. Big up to Adrian, big up to Lee. Lee, just have the mic, my friend, please.
The best team. They got the best defence. They got the best midfield. They've got the best striker since Harry Kane. I tell you what, I had one Spurs fan that was on. I tell you what, I'm driving on Talksport today, right? And he gone like, I'm driving. I think we've got to watch because there's a bit of traffic about. And he's gone, we miss Harry Kane. You know, I thought he was going to say for his goals. He's gone, no, we miss Harry Kane because he used to win the headers from set pieces. The gift that keeps on giving Tottenham Hotspur. They miss Harry Kane because of his defensive duties at set pieces. They got Solanke. They just bought for £65 million. Old Deitch was on there the other day saying he's the best striker. I'll tell you what, there wasn't one striker out there today.
Stop it. I won't stop if you keep laughing. Stop.
I'll tell you what, that's one fan come past today, giving it large, wanting to have a fight and all that. I said, take the L, mate. Should be used to it by now. Where's Ronnie? Come on, Ronnie. Where are you, son?
Where are all the Spurs fans?
2-0, 3-0, 3-1. Not one of them predicted that they was going to get a draw, let alone a win. And we've gone there with no. I'll tell you what, it was in. No Odegaard, who's our captain. No Rice, right? No Shinchenko. No Calafiori. Oh dear.
Oh, stop.
You know, we've actually won there more times than them there in Arsenal, North London derbies. Can you believe that? Like, we've won there 3 times. Do you know how many times they've won at the Emirates in 20 years?
Once.
But they're the best team in London.
Mate, it's only been their ground's only been up 5 years, isn't it? And we beat them 3 times in it already.
5 years we took over it already. No, I'll tell you what, though, really, be it all jokes aside, you know, I've had a few beers, I ain't gonna lie, but we come from South London and took over North London. They built a new ground and we've won there more times than them. Like, I mean, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
Honestly, man, it's incredible. And I'll tell you, today was a masterclass in defence from Arsenal. I thought Timber was outstanding. Gabriel was a monster. Saliba, yet again, brilliant. And do you know what? He got injured. He got not injured. He got a booking right early on, yellow card. And I thought, oh no, that is not what we need. Yeah. And then since then, he was just an absolute weapon, wasn't he? As all of our defence was, man. I didn't think Ben White was outstanding today. I've got to say that, actually. But the rest of them I thought were superb. And I've got to come to you, Aid, on your thoughts on it. Because defensively, I just had the confidence that we were going to see it out, mate.
Do you know what? I said it to you, both of you, didn't I, before the game? And no one, I've watched a few interviews on AFCT, you know, after the game. No one has mentioned Partey and Jorginho in this. And I've got to hump about that. Because both of them in front of that, screening that line in front, were outstanding. Jorginho, I tell you what, is a player for the big games, when the shit is the fan for us, away from home, that he is unbelievable at it. He just knows how to take sting out of the game. And Partey next to him was outstanding. Both of them were brilliant. And I know we give our back line a massive, massive big up all the time because they are that good. But I tell you what, they wouldn't be that good if they didn't have people in front of them doing their jobs as well. And it's what I love about Arsenal Football Club. And Gary Neville, I mean, he's changed his tune big time, and he's purring over us at the moment.
Yeah, you know, maybe I'll have to watch it. I will watch it back, obviously, but I watched it. I didn't think Partey and Jorginho were great today, but they just done the job.
Off the ball, Lee. Off the ball is where they done their jobs. They might not have been great on the ball. I mean, don't get me wrong. Jorginho got caught in position a few times. Partey, a couple of laps passes, but it's just watch it. When you watch it again, watch it off the ball. Their recovery runs were unbelievable. I mean, he couldn't walk, Jorginho, at the end. There was one point where he was running back, 89 minutes it was. He's running back. I think it's the Spurs right winger who come on. I can't remember his name. He came on and Jorginho was running back. And you know when you got a cramp, Lee, and you're trying to run and your legs all going like that. And he got back. It's the work they did off the ball that made them so good today. And a lot of people. I mean, when I watch the game, you know what I'm like, Lee. I don't just watch what you know where the ball goes. I look at what all the other players are doing around it. And every time Spurs broke on us, our recovery runs were outstanding, and both of them in front. Partey as well, because Partey got a bit of grief this week about not getting back when it mattered. But both of them in front of that screen, as well as the rest of the boys in the back line, and Saka. And do you know what? I know I'm just off piece here. We know we talk about Trossard and Martinelli out wide left. That was Martinelli's best game today.
Yeah, he had a good game today.
A good game today. Again, going forward, he's still not quite there. But if you're going to have a player out on that left-hand side who's going to do your defensive duties before his attacking duties, he was top draw at it today. It was just a masterclass from our manager. You know, he's lost our most creative player in Odegaard. He's lost Rice, who's a linchpin going forward, as well as when he sits and holds. And he's brought in a 31-year-old and a 33-year-old in Partey and Jorginho. And do you know what? I don't know why I worry. I really don't know why I worry going into Spurs games anymore, because, you know, with everyone I've been speaking to, or everyone, you probably got it today from Spurs fans, how they're going to win all that lot. Or we're all, even us Arsenal fans, all doom and gloom. We could be however many points behind City, whatever. Let's flip it on its head. You know, look where we are. You know, that was an absolute masterclass away performance with the bodies that we had in our squad. And let's be fair. I mean, if you look at the stats in the first half, I don't think Spurs had a shot or even a shot on target. It might have been one. And we had 4 or 5. You know, we could have been 2-0 up at half time. We could, and you know what? If Martinelli crosses out the Saka, we would have been certainly 1-0 up. But it was so good to watch. I mean, you know, I'm like my coach. I love my teams to be organised and like that. It just reminded me of when you got our teams that we've worked with, Lee, where you just shut them out. And Arsenal have never really been like that. You know, when you go back to Wenger days, it was always always go forward and go and try and get a win. But we've got a manager now who now knows how to win differently. And instead of just sticking to his guns like Postecoglou does with his high line and this is the way we're going to play, non-negotiable, we've got a manager who's gone there and thought, do you know what? I'm going to play differently today. And it was just a masterclass from the manager, from the set-piece coaches, right the way through. You could see they've done their own work. And, I mean, let's be honest, they couldn't get through us. They just couldn't do it. And I love that.
Ali, can I just say, I don't want to be negative when I say this and be really.
No, it's fine.
I don't want to be really bad. I know we're all going mad because it's against Spurs, and I'm very, very happy against Spurs.
No, it's a game of football.
But it's always a difficult game, but
of course it is.
For obvious reasons. But our Spurs, you know, a really good side. I'll give you a stat. Their last 4 wins have come against Luton, Sheffield United, Burnley, who all got relegated, and Everton, who are bottom of the Premier League. That's their 4 wins out of the last 14 games. The rest they've lost. That's twice against us, by the way. Manchester City in there as well. So we won't count that one because they wanted to lose that one. So, but are as great as it was today, and are we getting carried away? Like, you know, Ronnie's in here. Ronnie's in. Big up, Ronnie. We've got a lot of time for Ronnie. He's come on today. We've got a lot of time up. A lot of time for him. But I think like Spurs are in trouble, guys. I really do. Like, you know what I mean? I've just been speaking to one of my Spurs mates just now. They've got a massive game Wednesday night at Coventry. I know you might laugh at that, but if they was to lose that, guys, you know what I mean? Like, there'd be like a whole lot of problems. Look how, I don't know if you've seen the interview with Ange on the oh, spiky or what, like, you know what I mean?
I don't like him anymore, man. I'll tell you
No,
what. I actually
Well,
liked him when he first come. I thought, do you know what? I hate him now because he's Tottenham, but I actually quite like him. I think as a bloke and all that. I think he's so rude to the interviewees. He is so rude to them. You
He
know,
don't like direct questions, does he? He's in a league where he's getting found out, isn't he? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
And he has to improve as a manager and as a coach, as everyone does when it comes to the Premier League.
But did you not think today she was asking a question and he got really like rude of her and he was like,
it was unbelievable. It was horrendous.
He's so rude, isn't he? Like,
I think it was Gal. I'm not so sure who it was. And she's a Spurs fan as well. If it was, I don't know who it was, but like, you know, yeah.
Like, you're gonna let me answer it. Or you're just gonna keep talking, and you know, and then he said something else after that, and said something along the lines of, you know, like, look, I've answered it. I'm not answering it again. When I say something, I mean it. You know, I mean, I must say, Paul Merson. I've just seen him now. What a legend he is, by the way. I don't know if you heard what he said, Lee, but they said to him, "What's Ange Postecoglou has said that he always wins things in his second season. This is his second season, and he said." I think I've got more chance of me winning strictly.
Yeah,
he's a legend, like,
that is class, isn't it? He is absolute quality, mate. Like, he is a legend. But look, I mean, let's go into it quickly, Lee, because I'll go and bring this super chat up. I've been guilty of this in the past. I actually really do think James Maddison's a baller, but he has not been for quite some time now. Paul says Erdegaard had a better game than Maddison today.
I've had that as well today from a mate.
He contributed the same, didn't he? Absolutely contributed the same. How poor was he today? Like, you know what I mean? He done one good thing when he turned.
Credit though to our midfield and how we stopped the balls through the lines.
The organisation of the team was fantastic, didn't it? And to be fair, it always has been. You know what I mean? When we, you know, like I go back to that game against Aston Villa. You know, it wasn't one of our brilliant performances, but the way we won back the ball quickly against a very, very good team. And today, you know, Maddison, he done one thing that when he beat Jorginho, and Jorginho got booked for it. But if you're Maddison now, you're going home today, you're 1-0 down in a North London derby, 20 minutes to go or 15 minutes to go, and you're taken off. That is as big as kickers in the ghoulies you can get, like, you know what I mean, like, for an attacking player. And then to be replaced by Saul.
That was Werner, wasn't it?
Oh, Werner, even worse, Tino. He's got a great name, Tino Werner. That's about all he's got, like. I mean, Tino Werner.
I saw Turkish.
I
saw Turkish's video with two Spurs guys. I don't know who they are.
I'll tell you what.
He was going madly. He was going, he's just brought Maddison off of Timo fucking Werner.
Tino Werner and Sterling have got to go. What was the worst performance from a Chelsea player coming on as a sub? Both were really poor, like, you know what I mean? I have to say, like, you know, that was the only disappointment for me, was how poor, like, Sterling looked. You know, you go on about what he does in training. Well, I'd rather want to see what he does on the pitch. You know, he was like unbelievable. But that, you know what I mean? Nah, I honestly think, I've said it all the night, that Spurs are in trouble. I don't think they're a good side, but for us as a club, Arsenal. It's always been a difficult game. I know you go like.
Well, they're 13th now, Lee. I think Spurs.
Is it? Yeah. Well, doing well then.
You're on fire tonight, aren't you?
I tell you what, like that. I mean, they might get in the top 10. No, but but Dan, what my point being, you know, that's the first time in Premier League history that we've won 3 in a row. They've always given us difficult games when we've won titles and we've, you know, gone there and they've nicked a draw off us, and it's been a very, very difficult place to go. But I think the last 2 games, Perhaps all three. If I'd be really, I've been sitting there not nervous like the last 5 minutes again. When they put up 5 minutes on the ball, I weren't panicking and thinking, can't wait for this to be over or whatever, like, you know. And of course, you've got those things in your mind and all that, but like, it weren't one where we was hanging on for the final whistle again. Like, you know, we was quite good in the end, like, you know, defensively, so sound. And when that ball goes in for crosses and that, you know, Raya, you know, he's proved me wrong, guys. I've got to say that. I thought another fantastic.
I think he's been our best player this season.
Yeah,
I'm not even joking. Like, so far, he's been the best player for us so far. Like, I think he's been consistent. I think he's been reliable. His command of his area is great. His distribution's good. Great with his feet, playing out from the back. And every time the ball was coming across, he was like catching it. He weren't parrying it or fisting it or punching it, whatever was he? He was actually really calm and collected on the ball, man. I'm with you. I think he's been easily one of the better players for us in the first few games. And defensively, I mean, Gabriel, we've got to mention him, guys. Like, every time I've set piece now, he is a monster in there, mate. You know, I mean, Errol, one of the lads on the show, you all guys know from Race for Europe, Liverpool fan, he said, he goes, mate, I've got to say, you know, he's just messaged me now. He said, I've got to say, this Gabriel is ridiculous from corners. Yeah, he might have a mistake in him or a bozo moment, as people call it, even though I think he's ironed them out a lot more of late. But my God, he's a threat from the box, man, in the corner. That as soon as that come in, I think you said it, Aidan. I think Gary Neville actually said it. The Arsenal fans, all of us were thinking it was as if it was a free kick outside the box. It was like we knew something was going to happen.
All on your feet, people had their arms in the air, and I was thinking, what's going on? I think we're going to score here. I said to me, I think we're going to score here. And Neville said it, and then, look, he came up and what header. Do you know how many goals he's got since he's been at the club?
I think he's 15, isn't it? Or is it 15?
15 goals from a centre-half since he joined. I think he's been there 5 years.
Yeah.
5 years. That's phenomenal for a centre-half. And I'll tell you what, Sky, I was listening to the commentary afterwards, and they come up with a really good point. And it was Merson, actually. Merson come up with a fantastic point. He said, some centre-halves just go up to be a nuisance for corners and go up because they're 6'3". And he said, them two go up to score.
Yeah.
And I thought that was spot on, actually.
Yeah, that's a great point. Great point.
Because they go up to score goals. And, well, they do. Yeah. Good old Merson.
Yeah, no, phenomenal, mate. And I've got to say, like, I don't know, Lee, like, why doesn't he get the plaudits, perhaps? Is it because Saliba's so good that people forget about Gabriel? I don't know, judges. It seems that way, doesn't it?
Saliba's good on the ball, though, isn't he?
Yeah, like there are different. Yeah. There are different centre halves. You know,
centre half pairings. Yeah, they are.
You know, Gabriel's the aggressive one, and I think, excuse me, games like Tottenham away is probably like that's where he's more called on to be the aggressor, and you know, like, and that's it's no coincidence that he seems to get man of the matches when we play there and whatever. I thought. You know, Saliba like was brilliant again today, like, you know, but because of the goal and just the actual powerhouse in performance, you know, he had to go. He went tight on Solanke every time. Solanke, like, is a decent player. I'm not saying that he's not, but like he hardly got a kick today, like, you know what I mean. If it weren't you know, one running off him, he was superb. But I have to say today, Gabriel was immense.
Both.
And there's been a couple of games.
Watch the tackle Saliba does in the first half when Solanke gets a shot on goal. Solanke, first 10, 15 minutes, he was actually getting a bit of joy. When you watch it back, you'll see it. And then Ben White gave the ball away, didn't he, inside, and Solanke took a Saliba come out of nowhere and made an unbelievable tackle. They're just, both of them are just. I said it to Ricky Lee, actually. I said this is the best defence I've seen at 44 years old nearly that I've seen at Arsenal, and that is saying something with the defenders that we've had.
I wouldn't argue with you. I can't argue with you. I can't argue with you.
Yeah,
I think what Saliba's 23 now. Listen, Tony Adams is still, you know, got a statue of Tony Adams outside the stadium. That's how good he was.
Yeah, longevity though, isn't it? Where, you know, it don't happen in these games.
you got to go on to that. But at 23, he's nowhere near as good as Saliba was.
Different era of football, isn't it? You know, they don't play out from the back then, do they?
Don't play out from the back. You can always have a tackle on someone, which now you can't do. Like Tony Adams makes a great point when he says that, there were times when I weren't having a great game and what you could do was smash someone into the stands and the crowd would get behind you and everything like that. And you can't do that now. If it ain't going your way, you got to pick your way out of it. Different game, as we know. I get that, but outstanding. And Gabriel, like what we've had in the past, and I know this sounds silly, and I don't mean this disrespectfully to Gabriel, but hear me out on it. Like, he's the number 2 defender, right? Yeah, but for the last 20 years at Arsenal, he'd have been the number 1 defender. Do you know what I'm saying? Like that's not criticising him. Like, it's just that we've had like number 2s being number 1s, and all of a sudden now we've got a number 1 and a number 2 central defender, and that like Tony Adams was number 1, Martin Keown was number 2, Sol Campbell was number 1, Toure was number 2. Great defenders, and always one. If you look through it, always gets a little bit more praise than the other, whether it be Vidic and Ferdinand with a great partnership, John Terry and I've even forgot the Carvalho that played there. It was always John Terry. It's always going to be the same with Saliba and Gabriel. But I've only seen the goal. I haven't seen none of the football. But when he scores that goal, I think that very, very good is that Saliba's jumping on top of him, pointing to him down there. That tells you a lot. That tells me a lot. You know what I mean? That they're in it together. They're a partnership, and there's a good chemistry between the pair of them.
They do complement each other, but we just need to put to bed now this bloody combined 11 rubbish that Tottenham fans have been telling me all week. That Van de Ven and Romero are better than Gabriel and Saliba, and that Porro is better than White, and all this rubbish. Like, to me, I thought that proved yet again why Tottenham have apparently got this brilliant back 5, but again they concede from a corner. And they got a goalkeeper that I don't know what he's doing, by the way. He's absolutely rooted. I don't know where he's going with that. And the goalkeeper. You got Romero, who I keep being told is better than Gabriel. This guy has now been at fault for 3 of the last 4 goals, I think, that Tottenham have conceded. One of them, which he just leaves Jamie Vardy on his own to head the ball in the net. Now he's got done by Gabriel. There's another one as well before that. Was it the Newcastle goal or what? I don't know, but he's been done basically by I think three of the last games. A goal has been his fault. And as much as I do think that Van de Ven's a good centre back, he's nothing like Saliba. Let's just say it right. So when we see these combined 11s, they do make me laugh, Lee, because I mean all these players that Spurs fans are trying to force into this side is actually quite scary, really. I mean, I can give him a couple, maybe 3 tops, if I'm being kind, but I ain't giving him any more than that.
No, I'm with you, you know what I mean? I love Fav. He was on the Sky Sports when he, saying that their 2 central defenders should be on there, and I wouldn't swap Gabriel, And I'll tell you what, do you know what? I think that was the great thing today. A lot of people, if Tottenham fans they begrudgingly give us Saliba in that but no, Gabriel, got to have Van de Ven, and this talk about Van de Ven, he gets back and does a lot of defending, runs it back and all that, and he does that. Kai Havertz beat him as many times as he beat him in the air today. He's 6'15". You know what I mean? He ain't as great as what you think he. Yes, he recovers well and everything like that, but he ain't what I would say brilliant on the ball. You know what I mean? He's not as aggressive as Gabriel. Gabriel put that to bed today. Who's the better centre half out of the 2? In my opinion.
Look at the stats that came up today on the tele. So you guys were there. We've taken 31 points out of a possible 33 away from home since the turn of the year. I think and we've only let him 3 goals. So let's not talk about who's better defender or anything. It's just look at the stats. I don't know Spurs' stats, but I'll tell you what, I think it's 13 games we've had away from home since the turn of the year.
I'll tell you the other thing, and which you don't need stats for it. It's the eye all going and everything like that. Under Wenger and also a little bit under Arteta, we was poor away from home, losing games and all that. Why? because your defence is not good. Your defence has to defend when you're away from home. That's when it really comes on point, and that is why we'll get him at home, getting the performances away from home. We have to defend a little bit differently at home. We're a little bit more open, but when it comes to defending away from home, and you're right, it's not just the defence; it's just as a unit. You know what I mean? Like we didn't have our best presser today, by the way. Like, you know what I mean? You know, and I'm not talking about on the iron. I'm talking about proper pressure. Right, you know what I mean? Like, he wasn't there today, but we still defend properly. And I said it before. I've said it to Dan. We was talking about it on the way home today. We did have our midfield out. We did have a lot of players out. The bench weren't probably as strong as we wanted to be, but our back four was solid. And I'm going to be really honest. I had our Ndoggy in my Spurs team, but after that performance from Timber, no way. I thought he was absolutely.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about next.
Outstanding.
Superb.
He's gone to that next level, hasn't he?
Yeah, well,
strong.
When you put in a performance like that away at Tottenham, if that don't get you become a fan's favourite because of it, like nothing will.
On a booking as well. On a booking.
Yeah, outstanding.
I thought he was.
First
I actually gave him man of the match, I think, to Gabriel, which probably wasn't deserved because I think he actually did get player of the match, Gabriel. But I thought Timber was ridiculous, mate. Like I literally looked at him and I thought, right, defensively you're spot on. You're going forward, you're spot on. You're actually starting attacks, you're spot on. Your passing's immaculate. You were making runs off the ball down the wing to make movement and yourself available. And defensively, everything he did tackling wise, everything he did fighting back wise, chasing back, work rate, pressure.
I'll ask you two boys to a question. What did you notice that he didn't do today?
No, there you go. Everything he did. Everything.
He did not invert once. I can't remember.
No, that's a good point.
He didn't invert once, and that's the difference in the tactics of how Arteta set us up today.
Yeah, great point.
He just did. He did his defending duties superbly.
Yeah.
And you know what? It helped Martinelli today. It helped Martinelli go forward today. He was able to stay higher up the pitch, and he was dangerous today, Martinelli. I said it just watching it on my own. He looked much better today because I think he had that defensive. Obviously Timber in behind him as a left back. Now, I'm not saying that's how we go forward, moving forward, because I'm sure we'll have games where he will invert, but obviously that's where Moreno will come in hopefully when he gets fit. But it was just nice. And we all talk about Plan B, and we used to play it all the time. We only got Plan A. You know, it's like we've got Plan A, B, and C now because what we did today was completely different to how we normally play, and nail it. And you know, no matter how much Spurs had possession of football, they never hurt us, not once. Because defence as a unit, we were outstanding. It was he was good today, Timber. I picked him out as well. He was solid.
Yeah, I thought he was quite clear, to be fair, and I agree with this from Harvey that says, "Did you love it when our whole team steamed in when they tried it on Timber?" I saw that. I mean, I watched that again. It is a great point. They all steamed in. They all looked like they wanted something, but they were calling for a red card. I don't know how they can say that. Obviously, it went to, apparently, Gary Neville explained it quite well that because his foot rolled over the ball and because he didn't follow through, it was never going to be a red card or something. But I hadn't seen it again. But whether you think it's red or not, that's not the question. For me, this was more important, was all of our teammates sticking up for each other. We haven't seen that since the Invincibles, have we, boys? Do you know what I mean?
Have you seen Calafiori's tweet?
Calafiori tweet and all that was great. You sent me that, but like that. Listen, I love all that. You know, you can't be into. Do you know what? Me and Julian were saying something today. Like, you know, you used to go away to Stoke, right, knowing you was going to lose, right, because we was going to get bullied. You knew you was going to go to Blackburn or Bolton and drop points because you knew we'd get bullied. No one bullies us now. You know what I mean? Like, we're not intimidating in a nasty way and all that, but we're not going to be rolled over like we was before in the past. And I think that's a big thing for us. And I love all that sort of stuff. And, old Song went in, didn't he? Like, I mean, I don't know if you see Ben White behind him, like, and Saka. What about Saka? I don't know if you've seen it today. Saka piling in there. He's stopped being the goody chew. I like that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I was massively into that. We think Timber's staying at left back then, boys, or what's going to happen there?
Well, it's his place to lose, isn't it now? On a performance like that, like you said, away at Spurs.
The good thing is he can play anywhere, I think, down across that back four now. I thought he was. Do you know what they stopped? We were talking about it, weren't we? Like, they actually stopped. They give up. They actually give up taking him on in the end.
Kept coming inside, didn't they?
They just can't come inside. They actually give up going on the outside of him because he was aggressive and all that, And I think it was Romero put a good tackle on him at one stage. But I don't know if you noticed, he had to go down afterwards, Romero, the big hard man and all that, because I don't think it was a foul or anything like that. But what he smashed into a solid unit.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? All right, he won the tackle, but he thought, that was, I like him.
Absolutely. Let's do a couple of these super chats. We saw this one from Paul, which was class, to be fair. So we'll throw it again. I had a better game than Madison today. That did make me laugh. That's absolutely class. This one comes in from Suge. He says, big up Lee, Dan and Adrian. Hit the likes, people. Game was definitely worth staying up to 1:30 a.m. for that result. Love for the love.
Fantastic.
Love for you.
Well done.
Absolute legend, Suge. I'm glad you enjoyed it, my friend. This one's a nice segue as well, so I'll put this question to the both of you. 40 Side said, other than the miss, I thought Martinelli was really good. Beat his man a few times, works hard in defence, doesn't always get enough credit. One thing I will always give him credit for is his work rate and his tenacity, mate. He does not stop running. The work rate is phenomenal. And I actually thought he should have done better with the chance that he had. But other than that, I thought he was a lot more like himself, and I actually agree with you, Aid. I think it's a great point you made about Timber not inverting it. Actually, really helped his game. So, what do you make of Martinelli today, Aid?
Exactly that. He had a really good game. If we look at the other side, you've got Ben White and Saka. Ben White hardly inverts, does he? He doesn't do it a lot, and even when Saka is not having what we would class as a good game, but he's still having a good game. You know what I mean? With Saka out because he's that good. He's always got Ben White either overlapping or he's always behind him. If he loses the ball, Ben White's there. And I think it was a prime example of today of different tactics help different players, doesn't it? And we've been saying it about Xhaka when he was at the club, how he was able to be freed up when the left back inverted when Zinchenko used to do it, and he was able to come wider left, which Odegaard does on the right hand side. But today it was just right, Martinelli. I've got your back. I'm going to play as high as I can to support you, so you can get further up the pitch. And Martinelli, I think he wasn't. I mean, his work rate back and his defending rate is outstanding. Martinelli, you can't knock him for that. But what happened today was that he didn't have to do that as much because Timber was always there. And Martinelli he's a forward, isn't he? He's a forward-thinking player, and his best attributes are his pace and beating people. And I totally agree with the comment. Sorry, I didn't see who made the comment. I think they're spot on. But he was beating his man today, which you haven't seen for a while. And I do wonder if when he hasn't got that left back in behind. I do wonder, is he worried about if he beats his player, loses possession, and suddenly they're on the attack down the right-hand side because our left back's gone inverted? I don't know. I need to watch a few more games if we play that way. But he was a lot better today. It was a good game for him to have with his attributes defensively wise, but with how he played a solid back unit and not an inverted fullback. Definitely helped him. So he'll be pleased tonight, I think, Martinelli.
Without that. And the other thing that I've got to say is I know Timber done very, very well there, but like Porro, he kept coming inside all the time. It meant that Martinelli had to go with him to a certain degree. I don't know if you noticed it, but he went with him to a certain degree, and then he stayed there. So he kept his shape, and then he still had time to push out and attack.
That's when our two holding midfielders were really good today. Because every time he came inside, it was either Jorginho or Partey that come into
it. Would pick him up but Martinelli would go with him to a certain. So when you think about it, they've watched film, they've watched tactics and all that, and so they knew exactly. So they would have said to Gabriel, "You come into a certain part of the pitch, and then that's it." And I think he's done well. I will say one thing about Arteta, because we might forget about it. I thought when Wanyeri come on today, he put Gabriel out on to the Jesus out to the right and him in the middle, and I think that was because he felt that a bit more experience, Jesus, to do the defensive duties and just let Wanyeri just do what he wanted to do. And I thought that was a lovely bit of tactical nous from Arteta. He's definitely learning, guys. He definitely is learning.
Watch Jesus as well, Lee. When you see it, watch Jesus as well. He's like, I'm going to come here and you're going to go up there and just do what you need to do. And it come from Arteta.
I just thought it was I thought that was tactically, it was only a little thing, but I thought it was because, you're 1-0 up. You don't want him to have a little lapse in concentration. He's 17 years of age, physically, mentally, just go there, just go and do what you're best at, son. Taking on players. Brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, I thought he should have done better for the chance he had. I think everyone could have said that. I mean, it wasn't actually as clear cut as I thought when I first saw it. I thought it was an absolute sitter, but I watched it. The Martinelli one. Yeah. I thought he should have done. Yeah,
I get it across. Could he? People are saying he should have put it. I didn't see that.
Watch it.
Yeah,
he's won the ball. He's gone direct towards goal. Instead of coming onto his left foot, he's come across. You watch Saka. If he just plants it across, Saka's tapping it home.
All right. Okay.
When you see it, you'll see what I'm saying.
Yeah, he should have done better with that. I really wanted that to go in so much, man. Not just because, obviously, but in terms of for his confidence and for him. But it definitely would have played well enough today to think, fair play. I wanted to ask you about Trossard's performance, boys, as well, because obviously Trossard and Havertz were a little bit unknown on who was going to play in the Ødegaard role and who was going to go up top and whether they're going to switch it round. A little bit like when we come back, I think it was from Dubai where we were playing with smashing teams, weren't we, for fun, like 4s and 5s, and they were kind of like switching roles of each other and playing off of each other really, really well. I don't know what you boys thought of those two today, Havertz and Trossard.
Havertz was excellent.
Yeah.
Absolutely led that line superbly. Everyone will talk about, he didn't really do a lot. He didn't score a goal. He did, but everything he did as a front man that you want a front man to do, he was excellent. Trossard, he was good today. He was good. I nearly freaking threw a knife through the telly when he got caught in possession at the
the edge of the box.
Yeah, like what's he doing? But apart from that, it wasn't a game where if you think about the game as a whole, it wasn't a game where you're going to be in the game as a flair player. It was more about what you're going to do off the ball. And both of them did it really well. But Havertz led the line really, really, really good today.
I know Donna's in the chat. Has she got any comments on 29?
She probably thought 29 was rubbish again. He said he should have done better with his header, but I thought
he should have done better with his header. But I thought both were superb. I thought, I say superb. You have to understand that Trossard's in a completely different role to what he normally plays.
Yeah,
put himself about, worked hard, put the lovely ball in for Martinelli, which I didn't know at the time. But I thought he'd done well. But Havertz today, I just thought he was a handful for them to. And I'm glad that Arteta kept it that way.
Yeah,
and I know that he had to put Kai in there in the end as a midfield player, and he goes in there and does a job. But what he done today, which I think people probably won't realise, when we was under a little bit of pressure, the ball goes up top to him. Great first touch, and he wins a throw onto us and things like that. It just relieves the pressure, and I don't think he gets enough credit for that. You know what I mean? So. I thought he was one of our better players today. Didn't really have that many chances. Perhaps the header. Someone said earlier on that they need to have a look at that because it was handball. I don't know if that's the case.
Yeah, it was. The keeper saved it and pushed it up to his hand. It weren't really. you'd be very upset if it was given against you. Put it that way.
Yeah, maybe like we did at Chelsea last year.
It weren't a bad header. He got a decent amount of power, but it was just read by the keeper well, and he saved it. But it was.
Let me bring up something that was before the game a little bit concerning to me personally. I was sat there with the lads and we were watching on the screen when the team news was announced, and I kind of got a little bit like, what the hell's going on here, if I'm honest? Because our bench, I hadn't heard of half of them.
Yeah.
So it was a bit of a worry. They're an average age of about 16 and a half. So Sterling and Jesus, fair enough. Wanyeri, we knew he was probably going to be on the bench at some point this season, and Neto's our backup goalkeeper. But Maldini Kakuri, what a name that is, by the way.
Beautiful name.
Never heard of him. But, if he plays anything like that,
it turns out the Maldini that we all know would be a pretty good player.
Exactly that. If he's half as good, I'll take him, right?
Yeah.
Kivior, we always know about. Aiden Heaven, Miles Lewis Skelly, and Ismail Kabia. Listen, boys, I don't think any of us know who Kakuri and Kabia is. Aiden Heaven, we obviously know because he played in the pre-season, but don't really want to be seeing him on the bench, if I'm honest. Lewis Skelly, we all know him very well. My point is not who are these people. My point is our squad is so short. And
I agree, but one thing I've got to ask, which has baffled me, I've scratched my egg and scratched my head here. Right, you know what I mean? So, I've had a few, you know what I mean?
Scratching my egg.
What was the comment earlier? Camden beers or something you've had?
I don't touch that stuff. Absolute crap. Been on the Stella Artois today. Like, I had a couple left over, like, you know what I mean? Nice.
Stella Artois.
Beautiful. I've got a Medri. I might have a Medri over match of the day, like, you know what I mean? So, but now, what point being, the couple of those guys, like, didn't even go on the American tour. I don't understand that. Never went on the tour. Never in the game at the London Stadium. Now we had Salah, you know, really impressed on that American tour, Dan.
Yeah.
Not even on the bench. So I don't know if he's injured or not.
Sago Junior as well. There's a few people that were on
there's
that
a couple,
tour.
like, you know, Nichols played on the
Josh
went
Nichols,
to the tour,
yeah.
and then they pop up 2 or 3 players that I never seen. Don't know who they are. You know what I mean? When Yeri, I'm a player that I'm not being going too mad about him. I see him in America playing against Man United, Liverpool, and I was impressed. I knew when he come on today, I knew that the kid's got it. It's not because I've met him. The kid's got it. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, you know.
I swear, today when he come on, I thought he was brilliant when he come on. I really did. Honestly, the confidence of the lad. I mean, the first thing he done is sold old Kulusevski on the floor. Or was it Bentancur? I can't remember who it was now. But he put one of them on his arse, and then he's. But for me, the kid looked so confident, and he wanted the ball. You know, like if you come on a North London derby away, you're like, oh, this is a bit nervy. I'll just be here if you want to pass it to me, no worries. He was, give it to me, give me the ball, I want it. And he's spraying the ball. He's like, and I thought, do you know 100%. What? That does not worry me whatsoever when I see Wanyeri on the bench. But it does worry me when I see these kids on the bench. I've never heard of.
They've not been on the radar at all, Dan. I don't understand that. I'm not having a go because at the end of the day, it's worked out. But I'm with you on that. It was a worry. And I think that a lot of us, you know, if we'd be really honest in the stadium and all that, we're going, that bench looks a bit light. I won't say weak because you've got Sterling and Jesus up there. That's 2 good options there. An international defender in there and Wanyeri that we know about. But it wasn't that strong after. Listen, Lewis Skelly's a very, very good player as well, like, by the way. So, I've got no worries about him coming into the team, but yeah, it was a bit strange that a couple of kids there that I haven't heard. But then you have a look at it. When I've got some players out, you know what I mean? Shinchenko again, he's got calf injury again. What is the matter with him?
I'm done with him.
Can I just flip? Can I say sorry to interrupt? I'm going to flip this onto this little debate about our squad not being deep enough. Our squad won us the game today. Because the players that have come in who haven't been playing come in, and I think you are right, Dan. I still agree we are still short, but the squad players that have come into that team today have gone in and done an amazing job. And I do agree. Yeah, I did look at the bench. I thought, freaking hell, they do look a bit young, but they were never going to be used today.
They were never going to be used. Obviously, you had to fill a bench, but my more worry is not oh my God, we're not going to win a game with that squad. My worry is we can't have any more knocks, and the people that we rely. I tell you what, my biggest, and this is my biggest worry this season. Now, this is the problem we got. It's not do we have enough players, because we do, but we are relying on the players that get injured every single season not to get injured. So we're looking at Party now, going, please don't get Croc, mate, because we ain't got anyone else. He's going to get Croc some point. Tommy Asu, anyone know where he is? I don't. Anybody know how Zinchenko can get injured? We ain't been playing. I don't. Anyone know what we've got Ødegaard and Rice, which is quite a shocker, really. I mean, Rice is obviously suspended, so he's back now. But Ødegaard don't normally get injured, to be fair to him. But we know Jesus is going to get injured again this season. And these players can't get injured, and this is my problem. And this is why in the summer, I actually think we're going to have another busy summer, because we are going to have to replace Partey and Jorginho when their contracts run out. We are going to have to replace Tommy Asu and Zinchenko if they ain't fit enough. We are going to have to look at what happens with Jesus if he isn't fit enough. And this is the problem we got now. And I'll throw this to you, Judge. I don't know if I'm confident in that, because these players, I know they're going to get injured, Lee, and we can't allow them to. Do you know what I mean?
That is the big worry. But the plus for the moment is, I don't think he's at his greatest yet, but Thomas Partey's been more reliable than anybody in the midfield at this moment in time. So we have to give him a big plus for that. He's gone away on international duty and played 290 minutes, by the way, there, and come back and then complete the 90 minutes in the North London derby. Probably have to do it again on Thursday. That'd be an interesting team selection for me on Thursday. I'm saying resting a lot more players. This is where your squad comes into play. There'd be a few more rested than not, but I think when you look at it, like Zinchenko could have done a job for us today. Whether he started or not, he could have come in at midfield, done something like but he's not about again. You know what I mean? And again, it's a calf injury, like what I mean. Tommy Asu, I don't know what is actually happening with him, Martin Ødegaard misses a couple of games here and there, so you just got to say that's unfortunate. Marino ain't even had a game for us yet, injured. You know what I mean? Timber, I'm always worried about because of what's gone on, but at this moment in time, you got to say, look, it was an unfortunate thing. Let's see how he goes from there. But there are a few. I agree. Jesus, but it was. I don't care what anybody says. It was nice to see him on the bench today, and I don't mind Jesus coming on and being like, for me, Jesus plays on my front three on. I don't know who my front three will be, but definitely Jesus starts and Sterling starts and Havertz has a rest. That's for me. I'm resting Havertz, but I don't mind Jesus doing that, Dan. And then maybe then being on the bench for City. But when you're saying, we've got to rely on him. And I think that's a thing with certain players in this team, like the Jesuses and Havertz's and the Rices of this world and the Salibas of this world and Gabriels of this world. They are as reliable as anything. They're there week in, week out. Calafiori, another new signing injured. I don't know what's happened to him at the moment. No news on him whatsoever. So if he's fit, he plays fit in the Italy game. And a player that could have been useful for us today and is never available, never fit, and that's Tierney as well. Another one. You know what I mean? I know you love him as well, Dan. But at the end of the day, he's never fit. No. So we have got a few worries in that department.
Yeah, we have big time, man. It's a nice segue, which is how we're going to close the show really in the next section, which was about Thursday. Obviously, we've got a massive game at Man City, which we will talk about and build up later in the week. But for me, obviously, first of all, we've got to concentrate Champions League being back. Are you rotating here massively for this one? Because I kind of feel like we're going to have to. We ain't got the squad to go and play this team again, have we? Do you know what I mean?
Well, if we hadn't got Man City the weekend, I'd say no, because it's the Champions League. I know it's a new format, but you don't want to be losing your first game. But it's like I said to you earlier, Dan, isn't it? It's just been a bit of a pig with the bloody fixture computer. It's just stitched us right up. It's away as well. Is it Atlanta?
Yeah.
Is it? Yeah. That's 3 away games on a bounce. And everyone's worried, isn't it, about look, we get a draw against Spurs and we go and lose to City and all that lot. But we got to stop worrying, and I really do. We've got to stop worrying, and I expect us to go at London and then rotate a little bit, but we can't because we ain't. Like I say, I know I talk about our squad's won us the game today, and it has because we've been hit with an injury crisis, and our squad's stepped in. The players that haven't been playing, and we've won a very difficult game of football today. But again, we've got City the weekend. And it's a big game now. We've won this one. We've won this. It's a big game. What do you do? I'm not so sure, if I'm honest. We will rotate, and I believe we have to, but we can't rotate completely because we haven't got the personnel to do it. So,
Atlanta have won the Europa League. They're a top club. They're very good. You know what I mean? They're no mugs at all. So, I will say just quickly, big up to Kate. I really appreciate that. There we go, Lee. A Spurs fan who's saying congratulations on the win, guys. Thank you, Kate.
No, listen, there are some nice Spurs fans about that.
Yeah,
I have to say that. There's a few that are not, but all in all, we had a couple of incidents today at the ground, but there are other times when the Spurs fans come up to you and we're as good as gold, So
we had it today, didn't we? We had both people come up and say, "Oh, you're right, Lee. You're right, Dan. How you doing?" And then we have others that want to punch us. So it's unfortunate. That's the way it is.
We were talking about Dan, weren't we? So it's their best opportunity to probably turn us over with our. Let's be honest, two of our best players not playing. And right through the middle of the spine, and it's just credit to Arteta and what he's done at his football club, and the players brought in, and the way he set. That was a game plan executed to a T today, wasn't it? And the players come in, and we all talked about when they come inside and they met Partey or Jorginho. What they kept on doing is just forcing Spurs to go that way, and never that way. And we're a good side, and I think we've got to stop worrying a little bit too much because I think we all agree the transfer window ain't what we expected it to be, and then we've been hit with this poxy injury crisis, which we haven't had, which obviously we're all worried about, of course. But I ain't so worried. I'm not so worried now what I've seen today because
I think. Look, we are going to be worried when you get injuries, and we still think we've been left short, stuff like that. That's just natural. But unfortunately, it's part of the game. Like, we are going to get injuries. I will say this: I'm not saying that we will walk this game, whoever we play, but I actually fancy us to rotate a bit and still give Atlanta a proper game of football. It's not like we're rotated now, so we can't beat them. I still think we got a very good side out.
Club. We're Arsenal football
club.
Yeah, mate. In Europe. We go out there and we win the game, whether we rotate or not.
Yeah. For me, I think you leave out Partey for this game. You leave out Partey, bring in Rice.
Yeah.
You leave out Saka, who might have been injured anyway. Looks like he took up, I don't know, it looked like more of a knock than anything else. But I'd leave him out.
Sorry, Lee. Sorry, I shouldn't interrupt. Prime example, go back to when we played in the Europa League. And we played Lisbon at home and we lost. We played at the weekend. We played midweek and then we had to play on the weekend, didn't we? And we lost Tomiyasu and we lost Saliba in that midweek game.
Yeah.
I know it's later in the season. I get it. And obviously the legs are not going to be as strong as what they are now. However, Arteta, I agree with what you said, Lee. He's definitely learning and I think he will.
I think he'll learn from this game. Yeah, I wouldn't make too many changes. I might even leave out a Gabriel or if Calafiori's fit, I'd leave out Gabriel or Kivior comes in. One of them two comes in. Give him one of the central defenders a rest. Probably Gabriel because he's played 2 games in Brazil, all the travelling and all that. Like so, I'd probably say like Gabriel have a little rest today. Rice comes in for Partey. You've still got Jorginho who have another game. If you can get through it, then you get sit on the bench for the City game. And then up front, Sterling gets his run out. Jesus gets a run out there. The left side, Martinelli, I'd keep him because at the end of the day, he's him and Trossard, for confidence and that. And also I think with those two guys, they're going to have to play the next game as well. But they weren't on international duty, so they should be fine.
Two players I don't want to see playing is Partey and Saka.
Partey, Saka and Havertz. I don't want to see them playing like, you know. That's what I want to see. I don't want to see them play like, you know. And you know, I know it sounds silly. I'll take a draw on Thursday. I'll take a draw on Sunday as well.
It's the last hurdle this football team have got to get over.
Yeah, it'd be great. But you know what though, Aid, and it is true. There's a few pessimistic fans on groups and things like that. But there have been a few that have turned around and said, "What if we go to Spurs and win? And what if we go to City and win? Then what we're going to with a not such a strong squad? Well, if we do that, guys, that puts us in a psychologically in a fantastic place, you know. So we've got one part of the job done.
We have, mate, massively. And, you know, Atlanta ain't going to be easy, but I do believe that some of the players will get some game time. I think he might play Kivior. I think he might play Rice come back in. I think Sterling, Jesus and Martinelli would be fair. He might even start Wanyeri, you know, in the Odegaard role if he wants to rest Trossard and Havertz, like you say, Lee. So I think he can definitely, for me, rotate and we still give him a good game. And then it's the big one. You know, I was asked today on TalkSport about, do you think Haaland will be hard? And I said, of course, he's a machine, but he didn't get a kick against us home or away last year. You know, Saliba and Gabriel ate him up, mate. And I appreciate that. Say again?
Let's make it 3 games without a goal.
Three's the magic number.
Three's the magic number.
Brentford did all right against them.
They did. Yeah, they did. You know, Brentford got chances.
You know, Haaland... You know, we know he's a machine, but he ain't a machine against us. So, you know, it's going to be a and they haven't played anyone who's, you know, and they played more home games than we have, and they've got another home game. You know, what's difficult for us is that we're away in the Champions League, and we play a day later than them. So
with the travelling aid.
Yeah, with the travelling, and you know what I said about being the first game in Champions, you don't lose it. Do you know what? Now actually thinking about it. Rotate away because we've got to go to City and we've got to get a win. You know, we at some point it's our final hurdle. We've done every other bloody hurdle apart from this final one. And what statement that says as well, under some difficult circumstances with the fixtures that we've got going away from home. Where is City playing Wednesday? They're playing at home.
Yeah, Milan.
Yeah, so you know it's all in favour of them, and that, do you know what? If we do go there and turn them over, that makes it even better, doesn't it?
Well, unbelievable.
Well, that's the difficult week where everyone's saying, "Oh, you know, it's real difficult with Arsenal. We're going to be out of it if it all goes doom and gloom." But like you said, we've just got over the first hurdle and beating Spurs, but it's a pig that Atlanta game being away and a day later.
It is, and we got it all again in November, haven't we? When we've got Newcastle away, Inter Milan away, Chelsea away.
Yeah.
When are we playing at home, by the way? Is it after Christmas?
We've got a game against Bolton next week, eh? We've got a game against Bolton next Wednesday.
Kevin Davies playing.
Might be.
Listen, let's do a couple of super chats before we bring up football prizes. Mr. T, of course, you are our new member, absolute legend. Thank you so much for that. If you would like to become a member of course, 12th Man or Lee Judges TV, that all you need to do is click the like, subscribe, and join button and follow the instructions, and you can become a member of either of the channels. This one comes in from Louis, says big 3 points. I'll sleep well tonight. Yeah, all of us will as well. We'll be watching match today, chilling and getting a nice night's kip. That's for sure. Big up to all of you for your comments and of course your super chats. Judges, this one's over to you, mate. Football prizes have done it again, my bro.
No, listen, this is done it. This is the one here. Look, match day competition. This is hospitality tickets for Arsenal's game against Leicester. There, Adi. You're talking about a home game there, and this is it, right? So look, this is a prize. You can't miss out on this. A chance for 2 hospitality tickets for Arsenal and they take on Leicester. Now, listen, you can win this hospitality for less than £2 in this competition. And also, if you don't win that, you've got a chance of winning some 14 instant prizes. But lads, and listen, this is also in these instant win prizes. There's 2 hospitality tickets for the Arsenal Bolton game as well. So you might miss out on the Leicester ones, but you could get the Bolton ones. Now, to go on hospitality is very, very nice at the Emirates. And for doing it for less than £2, even better, let me tell you, like, you know. So stick away from the Camden if you get it though, and get on the wine.
Well, it's £3.95. It says here, Lee. Don't say £2.
Well, that's what it says here, like, you know what I mean. In my little script, it says £2, like, you know what I mean. So
this ticket costs £3.
well, no, yeah, the ticket costs £3, but for two people.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. Listen, my boys from the old football prizes don't get things wrong. So for £2 each, there's two people go, not just one person. So for you know, like, so if it was me and I win it, AD, I will charge you £2 to get in.
I'll tell you to stick it.
If you win it, you'll be giving it to me, MA, because you'll already.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I'm going to go in it. I'm going to go in it tonight. And if I win it, you two will go, like, you know what I mean?
Look at that. Love it. Listen, people, it's been a pleasure. Make sure you go over to footballprizes.co.uk. Make sure you do hit the like and the subscribe button, and make sure that you join us, because tomorrow is going to be a very good day. And I'll tell you why tomorrow is going to be a very good day, because on this channel we will be absolutely rinsing Henry at 12:30 on Lee Judges TV. Who's already done an emergency meeting stream because he wants Ange out.
He's had a meltdown, the old boy. He's had an ice cream in 90 degrees. He's had a meltdown.
He really has, mate. He really has. And then on 12th Man tomorrow night. Now, listen, on Football's 12th Man tomorrow night.
Come on, Denji.
Deji will be on at 8 p.m. and he is going to get fried, cooked, and absolutely done over by everybody on the stream. Errol is actually really happy because he's a Liverpool fan and he's like, thank God Tottenham lost, otherwise it would have been him. But he's definitely going to get cooking as well. But oh my God, Deji is going to get absolutely fried. Don has already sent me this voice note about how he's going to completely cook him. So listen, people, 8 p.m. tomorrow evening, please tune in to Football's 12th Man if you want to see Deji get an absolute rinsing. And you know what's even better? Is that on Wednesday we get to do it all over again on This Is London with Lawless and D and with Gooner Lee as well. So that'll be even funnier as well. So Deji's in for a bit of a strange week. Bless him. After getting very cocky with me and Lee on here. Only on Friday.
He got above his station, if you don't mind me saying, Dan. You know what I mean? Like, he got above himself, like, you know what I mean?
He did. But he's been shot down, mate, by the mighty.
He's been shot down. He
has been. But they're all there. Do you know what I mean? Tobes is Tobes is in meltdown. You got obviously Abby Expressions is in meltdown.
Poor Abby, like, poor little Tottenham.
Poor
little Tottenham, she says, like, you know what I mean? She's had to get out of the country today. She couldn't take it.
She's had to go, mate. She's had to go. But you know what? Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. What a day of football.
Beautiful.
Absolute pleasure. Aid, thank you so much for coming on, bro.
Cheers, AD.
It was a pleasure.
Legend. And Lee, I'll let you have the last word, bro.
I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, I'm off now to to video to record Forever Arsenal. So I'll leave you with this. Spurs are shit.